Right.
Oh, okay.
Hello everyone. This is Lada from astrolada.com here today with the sidereal Babylonian astrologer Krasi Atasio, who will be talking to us about a very important event astrological that is happening in December. She
Oh, okay.
asked me to call this video
Everyone.
Turning Point, the turning point in December 2021. And can you tell us more about this, Krasi? What is it exactly?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Hello, Wada. Yes, we have very important celestial event, which is the heliac rise of Mars. Mars becomes visible for the first time after being invisible. Every cycle of Mars starts with his visibility and lasts for approximately 15 to 17 months. And Wada, to explain his significance, I will bring you back in time to the date of 29th of October 2019. What happened then? First, in a bracket, who is Mars? Mars, according to the Babylonians, is God Nergal. He is the ruler of the netherworld. He was the red star. He was the unpredictable. Mars was considered as very malefic, only negative, unfortunately, because he was unpredictable. So Saturn was not like that. Saturn was more predictable to the Babylonians, and they would consider him, yes, malefic, but still the god of wisdom. He was the god Ninur, the god the planet who would give us wisdom. With Mars, the situation is very different. So we know that Mars rules naturally Scorpio and Aries, and what is happening, I will explain you in a moment. But in order to illustrate this better, I'm bringing you back to the 29th of October 2019. Then, after Mars also became visible for the first time in the 22nd degrees of Virgo. Mars became visible in the 22nd degrees of Virgo. I'll explain you also that at that time, Saturn was in the 21st degree of Sagittarius, and they formed a square. Mars and Saturn form a square, but Mars is ruling disease, plague, war, natural disasters. Mars is ruling fights and wars. You know what Mars is ruling. This is not new for anyone, but he signifies disease. When he became visible for the first time in Virgo, Virgo is the natural ruler of the sixth house, which is health in general for the modern and also for the old astrology. So obviously, yeah. So obviously he brought us issues which will be related to health. And this is up until the end of his cycle. So he started his cycle with health problems for the world. And it was serious because he squared Saturn with exact to 1 degree distant square. He squared also Ketu. Wada Ketu is disease too. Ketu is the limitation. Ketu is, you know, the node of the moon, which is signifying
Karma too.
exactly. So you see, it was clear picture of health issues, which his energy carries for the 15 months ahead, which is a cycle that is ending now. So I brought you back just to illustrate how Mars works. Clearly, we can look at any other planet. We can look at Pluto entering Capricorn, sidereal. We can look at Saturn entering Capricorn. Of course, this supports the whole situation. But Mars was in the bottom of all this. Very unpredictable, red planet, which signifies disease. And now, what is happening in December? First of all, in December, we have one solar eclipse we have in December, but then we have one lunar eclipse, which is signified with the opposition between the moon and and the sun, which is happening on the 19th of November. The moon is in the Pleiades and the sun is in Scorpio in the 3rd degrees. So this is the lunar eclipse. I will not give so much attention onto the eclipses because I don't want to dilute the Martial situation, but just to tell you about this eclipse. And then look what is happening further. Further, we have the solar eclipse, which is happening on the 4th of December on the very same axis of Scorpio Taurus. And I want to see exactly the degree. Give me a small second. And the first appearance of Mars on the, exactly it is happening on the 17th of December in the 8 degrees of Scorpio. 8 degrees of Scorpio. What we have in the 8 degrees? In the 7th, we have the sacred degree, the Hermes, the hermetic degree of amazing knowledge, awakening. But what we have also there, you know, this is according to Hermes term, which is ruled by Venus. So Mars is entering term of Venus. And in the moment of his appearance, Venus becomes stationary and is planning to turn retro. But look what, the appearance of Mars with Ketu is on this very same axis where we have 4 eclipses this year. And in the vicinity exactly of the eclipsed degrees of November. And by the way, at the moment when this is happening, the moon is in the eclipse degree in the Pleiades. The moon is exactly conjoined Pleiades. Now, what is this signifying? We can think, Wada. I was searching into Babylonian omens. There were some omens, and such appearance of Mars says promises hostilities in the world. There won't be peace. This appearance of such strong Mars in Scorpio is about hostilities. This is one word. Secondly, they say this will be, of course, because this is hermetic degree, truth will come into surface, truth that we can't imagine to have been able to come across before. Because this
like
will be like
cult knowledge or cult secrets will appear of some sort.
Yes, this on one side for sure. Yes, but also truth, the hidden truth by the matrix. Then they say the king, there will be this will be good for the king, but also the king should watch out for up until Mars leaves Scorpio. The king should be very careful. It means that a key ruler of the world will be exposed. This is how I see it, because this will be about exposing truth. So hostilities, exposing truth, and there will be a key politician, king, which will be exposed, may even die, because while up until the course of Saturn in Scorpio, someone is in a big danger. So a very key.
So that's till when?
Minimum 1 month ahead. We'll see exactly when he's leaving. But I will tell you, but just to tell you that also, in this very second, Venus turns retro. In this very second of his appearance, see, this is one moment to see how long exactly he's staying, until when. I saw it in Africa, until 16th of January, 17th, 18th, yeah, 18th of January, until 19th of January. And I can tell you that even mid-January, no, it is 18th plus 7, it will be 25th of January, Venus becomes invisible. She's turning into a Resh Kigal. But we can talk about this in another talk, because we're talking about Mars now.
So Mars on a personal level. This is the so-called Heliacal rising of a planet with Babylonian much importance for important events in the personal life as well. So what
yes,
it can play out?
yes. First of all, you see, I do see this, as you mentioned, as a turning point, because it is time something to be changed. Mars, well, we'll be speaking, of course, about this, how this influences us personally. But first of all, you see, Scorpio is this naturally sign who rules the eighth house. You have the secret services. You had all this hidden occultistic part of the world. You have and Mars there will be giving them maybe additional power, but will also be exposing them. So it will be twofold, I imagine. They will try to, and you see, you have the moon exactly in opposition, and the moon. This is the nations. These are the people. So they will try
to force them to
exactly.
extort them. Scorpio uses methods that to press you by the wall and you have no option to ambush.
Exactly. This is how I see it. They will enforce something. People will react because there will be enormous hostilities through the martial energy hostilities. The police stay to enforce further measurements and whatever, but there will be hostilities. People will react. Venus is retro. She being the planet she's coming to help. She comes retro to make sextile to Mars. It's like how? Through the law of love, through, she will be a retrograde in Sagittarius. She enters Sagittarius, where we have all this philosophical, benevolent energy. So it means that we, through love, but I'm not talking about this cliche of the new age stuff, I'm talking about seriously being patient, understanding that all this comes from God, and we have to be to vibrate very high. Love, very philosophical, very wise. See, the interesting thing is that sextile is made by Saturn. Practical. We have to be very practical, very organized, very moral, patient. But it will be a turning point. December, January will be crazy because of this.
So you think they would really step up the agenda there with force and military and police?
I think they'll go further, yes.
What I'm worried is this Mars rising in Scorpio, the sign of death. I'm worried there'll be a lot more, in the last 1-2 years during the pandemic, actually, the number of death is lower than other years. But I think now it's going to change. I think there'll be a lot more people, that is the mortality because of the Scorpio energy. That's one of my big worries.
Eighth house, yes.
And plus the eclipse on the Pleiades, and between Algol and the Pleiades, it is known for, that Algol in Chinese astrology is known as the stars of corpses upon corpses. And it can create some world cataclysms or some world disaster sometimes. So I really hope it's not the case. And the Pleiades is the weeping sisters. There's some tragedy that happens usually around the Pleiades.
Yes, one sister disappeared. People may disappear. Yeah, it is death too. Well, God allows this. What can we say? What can we say? We need to be very patient, very wise, know that it comes from God, and know that it will pass. This is actually maybe the needed turning point, because many people fell into this lie and believed. They will see now. They will see now the truth. They had the option to open their eyes, but now this will be really the turning point when you see there is no other way, but you see the great lie, and that's why people will be reacting.
Smelling the rat and seeing like an X-ray and starting to see through the lies, yeah. And it's initiation. I think there'll be a lot of spiritual awakenings because the sign of Mars in Scorpio, it's like, because Scorpio rules the purchase in the body and the chakras as well. And Mars can really spin those chakras. So for some people, they can go through a big first detox. They can start feeling during those next 2 years, especially intense in December, where you can feel like a powerful detox and even some kind of a psychic attack on them, psychological attack, nervous attack, any of those things. Almost for some, it might feel like a nervous breakdown. But I think that for many people, this can initiate like almost like an intervention to their life to make some big transformation and change. Because Mars is intervention, Scorpio is like big transformation psychologically, where you face your own demons and the darker side of your life, and you release them, and that's why I'm thinking there'll be people with the more evolved who've tried, who can have spiritual awakenings, like the chakra spinning and opening. I'm talking on a more personal level, some of the things you can look for. It's not going to be easy. I don't think initiation of spiritual awakening is a pleasant thing at all. It's the opposite till you pass through the just.
No, it's the opposite. You can get depressed when you see that the world is not what you thought it is.
But I think as a result, there'll be like a huge cleansing, and I think it will carry on for 2 years. Huge cleansing of illusions, of lies, and people facing their shadow and accepting that shadow, because Scorpio is the shadow side, and Mars is courageous, and Mars says, I'll face that shadow side and I'll work with it or whatever, transform it. So I hope we have on a personal level those positive manifestations.
Yes, another thing I forgot. Scorpio is this natural sciences, the hermetic, deep, ancient knowledge. People will rediscover this. People will rediscover, excuse me, this true primal information and knowledge, which cannot be forgotten. Doesn't matter how much they would hide sources of information, they can't. You know, the truth, it's like the sun. you can't cover it, you can't hide it. It will come, and people will rediscover this natural way of healing, natural way of everything.
They're healing as well. That I'm just worried something really dark is coming. I feel it with my whole body, that some really dark actions will happen, and forceful actions, and kind of there's a feeling of death there that I really hope I'm wrong, but it's like in my stomach. I've been feeling it for weeks now. So I knock on wood. I hope nothing, but anyway, let's not scare people.
Listen.
And by the way, Krasi, you started making 2022 horoscopes for clients, just letting anyone know who wants a yearly horoscope with Krasi. I'll go and check if it's there, but yes. And you made your, Krasi gave me another one 3 weeks ago of her beautiful ring. This is the Saturn ring. She made it when Saturn is in Capricorn, very strong on the MC, applying trine to the moon in Taurus. I saw the chart you used. And the Saturn, especially if you're Capricorn rising, Aquarius rising, it's very good for you. And the moment I put it on, I stopped smoking. I was smoking electronic cigarettes for a couple of years now, switched from normal, and I was able to stop it. So I don't know.
This is so amazing, Wada. I didn't expect this result. Amazing.
Saying no to yourself. Funny, the day I said put it on, and you said watch everything that happens today, there'll be a lot of Saturnian omens. So it turned out that day I was buying blockout curtains, that Saturn, to hide the sun. I was doing everything Saturnian. I went to the dentist and they took out my tooth, my wisdom tooth that day against Saturn. It's crazy, like everything that I was doing. And I started realizing which things are Saturn. I was like, I didn't know curtains were Saturn, but it makes sense, So it was
interesting.
So
yes, you get signs usually, indeed. I also get.
And that day I felt like I don't want to smoke. It was crazy. I didn't, for 2 weeks, I did not think about it. It just went away. Then I had a relapse for 1 or 2 days. And then again, I was like, I don't want it anymore. It's funny. So if anyone has problems with limitations and being too, maybe Saturn ring is for you, to self-control, for saying no, whether you want to go on a diet, remove something from your life, when you want to be stricter with yourself in some way. And I've been working like crazy. And that's another thing that I saw with this ring. So they work, but I have on my other hand the Venus to balance it a bit.
Saturn loves Venus. What Saturn loves Venus?
Their friend Saturn. And these are, in combination, they give occult knowledge, Saturn and Venus, don't they? Like
Very true.
for the
Well, just to summarize this, it is way before the event of December. This year we have 4 eclipses, all 4 on the very same axis. So nothing new will happen to the people who have very prominent Scorpio Taurus axis, or according to the tropical astrology, this would be the axis of Sagittarius Gemini. The thing is, if you have this axis very prominent, of course, the changes in your life are very, very, very significant, almost on every level. Why? Because if these eclipses and the heliacal rise of Mars would happen on your ascendant or descendant or on your midheaven, lower meridian, then this is touching upon almost every area of your life, your personal belief system, your perceptions of the world, your private life, your work, your career, your interests, your goals, what you want to achieve in life. Everything will be touched upon. Now, the day of the heliacal rise of Mars, and let's say the week after, may be disharmonious. Or if you have this ascendant descendant like Scorpio, Taurus, Gemini, Sagittarius tropically, you may go through disharmony. You may even face conflicts, but this may be something temporary, and you can really benefit from these energies to get drive.
So just to let you know, Mars becomes visible in Scorpio tropical as well. It's
Scorpio tropical. But the
Yeah.
eclipses, tropically, where were the eclipses? What are these?
The December eclipse is in Sagittarius. The November one is Taurus.
Taurus.
So, yeah, Taurus.
So yes, and you see this axis is touched upon also in 2020. We had 6 eclipses all around these 2 axes, Sagittarius, Gemini, Taurus, Scorpio. So people, don't be afraid, because these are not new energies. They will be just more signified. They will be, you feel more, maybe you may feel even energized. Depends what I think how Mars is placed in people's horoscopes. If you have a good Mars exalted, or if you're born at night, he loves more night horoscopes. Or let's say if Mars is in Aries, or in his triplicity you see, then you most probably even be energized, or you would like to be more sportive or athletic, or you will be driven towards natural science or gardening, or researching the occult, or finding the truth for this world and matrix. So could be totally good. Could be totally.
Yeah.
But you may also go through conflicts. So if you have, let's say, Scorpio ascendant in both astrologies, then as what I said, but also Sagittarius ascendant or Gemini, and if you feel that a conflict is arising in your private life, just know this is this Mars, and he also is testing you. And apply love and practicality, because Saturn is sextiling. So you actually can be very practical and organize things well, and this can totally be not of danger for you.
Yes. People might look back to last time when Mars became visible to see what happened in their. It was not in the same area of their life, and it happened October 2019. But did you start something new? Did you get more initiative, more drive?
But maybe Wada, it failed. Saturn was squaring.
It was not.
Maybe it failed. So now it's not that negative, because suddenly Venus coming to help. She's turning at the same moment to make style. You see, from Sagittarius. Okay, she's peregrine there, but also she's not that badly placed in Sagittarius. So I think now it's not that bad, but it's different. Now it is the real turning point for good. It is like this turning point, to summarize, it's like get worse before it gets better, so to say. It will be like this top of the ice cream, before it gets better.
So do you think now the focus will be taken away from the medical system and the illness, and the next 2 years it will go more towards scorpionic topics?
I see it more as division. Some who are ready for the true knowledge would definitely opt for the scorpionic energy of deep, hermetic, ancient, natural sciences. Others may choose a way which can be devastating for them, or other, because this sign also means death. Yeah.
Another thing, I've always, people say Aquarius is rebellious. No, Scorpio is the most rebellious sign. Scorpio is the sign, and especially when Mars is there. I don't know if you've known a Scorpio, but you say to a Scorpio, don't do that, and they will do exactly that. If you try and tell to Scorpio not to do something, they'll go and do the opposite. So that's the most rebellious sign for me. I think rebellion can, with Mars so energized in Scorpio, people might have had enough and really kind of like explosion of protest. And there is already, but might become more violent or something like that, or more planned out and strategic. Because Mars in Scorpio is like the general who plans rather than just go and protest or whatever. The actions can become more subversive, I would say, and more organized in some way, more like a military, from the military as well, with more military precision, but from the people as well. We'll see. It will be interesting to watch exactly what will happen.
Yes, but it is, let's not forget, we have our choice. Now, you see, there is something interesting which is kind of applicable, what Master Bain Sadhguru is saying. He says, when you die, how far you have your choices. If you have to come back in order to improve or fix your mistakes, you have no choices. You come and you have your incarnation specified, this and this will happen to you. If you come to learn, you have choices. You come with more choices. If you come to help, like volunteer to help, then you entirely choose what to do in this incarnation. The same would be applicable for this now. You choose, you really have the choice, but it is again up to your vibration. Either you fall into this low energy of Scorpio, which is that, and fear.
Panic, dread, that's Scorpio. Panic, dread, the lowest vibration when your gut becomes in a panic mode. or you
choose to be the change. For starting from yourself, really like choosing the high vibration of the true knowledge, and you can be even the source for this knowledge, research and bring it, and yeah, there is something always that I don't like when they say, oh, the moon is fallen in Scorpio. How can the moon be fallen in Scorpio when people with the scorpionic moon are the best of researchers, knowledgeable people with most powerful intuitions? Same in moon in Capricorn. Moon is fallen in Capricorn. How come when imagine?
It's not easy having your moon in Scorpio. It's kind of the obsessiveness.
Not easy, no.
But it can give fascinating people. Oh, the
exactly. Moon. And that's the thing. When they say fallen moon, I say, no, I don't like this, because how fallen is the moon when these people are amazing with their knowledge and intuition and name it.
All my friends have moon in Scorpio. I'm fascinated by these people. They're so loyal and intense, and they can research and study. And my son has moon in Scorpio. It's crazy. Kind of laser focus. They're laser focus and penetration into. You can't lie to such people. They immediately know. Like they can't say, like, I feel something's wrong with you. I'm like, oh, okay. It's great.
Exactly. So nothing to worry. It's a matter of choice. Let's put it that way, so that people don't really worry, but work on this, because it requires work.
Yes. So to transform that energy, it's the heaviest energy. But if you transform it, it becomes like the most, it's like you've come out.
It's a turning point to something better, because it's just
or the tunnel into light. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Because after that, it will slowly get better, but we'll be speaking about this in the 2022 analysis for the next year, and people will see the year is slightly better than these two very heavy years, 2020 and 2021. But what we forget to say, Wada, this is going towards completion of the pandemic scenario. to start totally new energies. You see, because Mars,
Yeah,
who's
I was gonna tell you. So it
you
goes
see
away.
this one forgot. Yes. So
Climate change, the new
yes,
thing.
this is completion of one scenario to start another. But this very, very dark scenario is coming towards completion because the cycle of this Mars that I started with, who appeared in Virgo, this cycle is closing. It's coming to an end.
Yeah, good. At least that one, because a lot of people are so scared from this disease. Funny enough, turned out 70% of people in Bulgaria have had it. And even I did an antigen test in my husband, and above 1.4, you've had it and you have antibodies. We had 20. And it seems most of the people who have antibodies, so they shouldn't be
Of
scared
course.
for that. It's so we're done with this topic, I hope. For
Yes, yes, yes. It has still its inertia, but slowly, slowly it's dying away.
entering into the Scorpio boogie. So
So no
Krasi,
fears, ladies and gentlemen. Don't allow fears. Yeah.
and Krasi, let me just check if uh, you're offering a 2022 reading. I will fix it here so people can see that you're starting already. We're starting on the promotions for 2022. So, all right. Thank you so much. If anyone wants to
Thank
contact
you,
Krasi,
Wada. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
and you can contact her also for talismans. She does them at very specific times. She looks for those dates. Sometimes she waits for a year or 2 or 3 years for certain dates for a planet to be strong. And she does them according to ancient Babylonian talisman making, that she even made a course to teach people how to do it with the proper herbs, with the proper notes and music. You know, every planet has that. So the proper witchery.
Not offensive, not afflicting one.
Yes. And also she has astrological talisman consultation where she can tell you which talisman should be the best for you, which planet is the weakest in your horoscope or whatever. So yeah, you can check it out. Thank you so much, Krasi, for this
Thank you,
interesting
Wada.
about this new heliacal phase of Mars that's starting. Let's see how things change for the world now with it. And have a great day. Thank you everyone for joining us.